So we've already examined our data set. We've already known the entities that they contain and the likes. So the first thing to do is to make sure the data set is cleaned, like we did yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the row ID, unique identifier, other ID as well. So the other dates, as you can see, the dates are following the same pattern, and no single inconsistency. Everything is following the same flow as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then we might want to apply filters to our header. Okay. So I'm going to go to data. I'm going to click on filter. So that way we can keep track of all our details. Right. So go to ship mode as well. You can see the four methods at which they use to ship the goods. So we have the first class shipments. We have the same day shipments, so which contains the shipments that were delivered uh, for transport the same day. We have the second class shipments and we have the standard class shipments. Of course, they are going to have different price range, and depending on the ship mode you choose, you are going to have to pay either higher or lower, right? So you click on OK. Then you have the customer ID as well. This is the primary key or the unique identifier. Then you have the customer name as well. Of course, different customer names. This customer segment as well. So we have three customer segments. Uh, these are the consumer, the corporate, or the home office, right? The country in which they reside. Of course, all of them are from the United States. Like I can recall, yes, exactly. And we have the city in which they reside in, the different cities in the United States, alright, and as well as the states in which they reside in, and you have the postal code. Similar to the zip code actually, but they are kind of different, although they are used interchangeably. And then we have the region in which they reside. I mean the customers, or that corporate, or the sectors actually. So you can either be a customer or an home office or a corporate, right? And then the product ID. So these are the product details, right? The furniture, the product's name, the sales, discounts, and profits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this in dollars because we're working with dollars, right? So I'm going to click on format sales, and I'm going to click on currency and dollars, right? I'm going to do the same for profit as well. Format sales, currency, right? Then I might want to do something. Then I'm going to multiply. No. Uh, Sorry. Okay, I want to. I write this. So I'm going to make the discount a percentage as well. If there are any things that you do not understand, you can actually signify so you can go back.
God.
So I'll be sending this data set to your Gmail as well when we are done with the class. Alright. So you're generating how many orders exist, right? So I'm going to type it how many orders sorry orders exist, right? How many customers made purchase? Sorry. Okay. Total sales made in technology. Okay. You can write it as total sales made for each product category, right? Then our KPI section, KPI section, which is the overall sales, overall profits. What else? And then I'll still go back to this insight generator as well. And so KPI is called key performance indicators. So they are the more like the key figures, the key thing you want to keep track of. So just like the first thing that the employee or the company wants to know. So for example, total sales made or total revenue generated by the company, the total number of quantities of goods sold, and the likes. All right, and then we also want to know the okay, total sales, the profit, shift duration. Am I writing it? No. Shift duration, right? And sales comparison across okay, yeah, profits made per category. Profits made per category. Yeah, written it sales and profit that can do it at the same time. And what else can we do? Okay, lowest sales and highest sales as well. We can do that. Region. Okay, yeah. Which region sells the most? Let's write it like this. Region most sales. Okay. Now for now that should do. And The reason why I left this percentage to have 0 decimal place is because all of those percentages are in whole numbers. They already approximated to be in whole number. Okay. All right. So now let's move to the first insights. How many orders exist? Now to calculate the how many orders exist, look at the order ID, right? And you can see that it is not numeric. We use a counter function. So I'm going to do like this. Okay. So equals to counter. So what counters does is that it counts the number of rows that are not blank. That contains values inside. So we're going to work on this. Let's work on this. No, this one. No, not this one. This was one of these alternates. Okay. So you can see we have a total of 9,994 orders, right? And you actually check see how many customers made purchase as well. And to do that, first of all, examine our datasets again. I'll go to the customer region. I'll go to customer ID. So you can see that not all of them are customers, right? As you can see, customers are represented by CG, ID, and okay, this is a consumer, Expo, and I'm trying to get another customer, a consumer. First, you even need to know how many customers are in the data set as well. So before you can even continue, let's start with how many customers exist. So it goes to count as well. Then go back to then sorry, not count actually. Count if, right? Because we are not counting for the O, we're only counting if a particular person is a customer or if he's not a customer. So and sorry, this is a consumer. Okay, let me check it again. Probably I was the one misjudging it. It seems like customer. It's consumer, not customer. Sorry, that was my mistake. It was a consumer, not customer. Okay, now let's go back to the ID. As you can see, BH, BH, CG, CG. So definitely that means it doesn't matter actually. So as long as they're customers, I don't know how the concept which they were able to specify their IDs because it wasn't stated, but they were able to they were just assigned unique values, but it wasn't stated how they were able to do it. So this and this have different alphabetical IDs, but they are all consumers, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the total number of customers that made purchase, right? So I'm going to do equals to count if then consumer, right? Then I'll my comma, then I'll select this again, I'll control shift down, I'll place my parenthesis, then I'll go back to my Sorry. Okay, so I found an error. Where is the segments? Okay, then this is condition down. Then my criteria. Then click on consumer. Click on enter. So we have 5,191 consumers as well. So you can make it, you can write it here as total number of consumers, 5,191, right? You can also write total number of uh, there are three segments, right? Let me go to the segments. Corporate segments, right? And I'm going to total number of corporate segments. Use the count if function as well. So equals to count if, right? Here my range comes first. Then control shift down. Then I want home office. That was already written. Okay, yeah. Corporate instead. But I'm going to change it to home office. Do you understand what I chose home office instead of corporate. So I then had to change the insights to home office. So I'll do the same for corporate this time around. All right, and my segments. Okay, then I'll go back. All right, and sorry, and I'll use the count function equals to counts. Then my segments. Which is done. Sorry. Which is done. Then I want corporates, right? So I'm going to count only the corporate segments. So as you can see, we have a total of 9,000 orders, right? And I'm going to calculate the total, so you can better understand the concepts equals to this plus this plus this. As you can see, they have the same value as this total. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to highlight this. So we've broken down uh, the total number of you know total number of informations that we have into the three segments, which are the consumers, the home segments, and customers. So that's thing we notice is that when working with data analysis, we need to better understand the data set in the sense that when they give us the data,
Mm-hmm.
we have to relate every single one of these rows and column. So, for example, this is a dummy data set. I don't really know what they mean by home office or corporate segment. But, when we get a real life job, when you get the job from your clients, you will need to, ask more details about the data set. So that's where your insights can be well relatable and the clients can better relate to your analysis, what you've done, how it can benefit and help them in whatever activities they're doing in their company. All right, so moving on, we've done the segments,
Okay.
and I want to do the how many customers made purchase. So, okay, yeah. Uh, how many customers made purchase. Now to do this, like I said, we don't really know, or we really have the consumer, right? So let me even change this to consumer. Yeah. Let's change this to consumer. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to use my count if function. So so far I've used the sum function and some formulas. The count ifs. I've done some formatting as well. So like I said earlier, those formulas and functions are what we'll be using to analyze our data sets in Excel. So I'm going to do okay equals to count is right. My segments range. So I'm going to go back to my data set. Then my comma. Then I want consumer, right? Then I want the comma. Then my profit range as well. So I'll go to my profit colon. Then I'll select the range as well. Then I want it to be greater than 0. So to be considered as profitable. So greater than 0. Okay. So you can see 4,153 uh, consumers um, made purchase. So out of 5,191 consumers, 4,153 made a profitable um, purchase. So as you can see, when I inserted the formula, okay, let me write it. Can I even write it unless I do like this? Yes. And so when I inserted my function, I use the count ifs, then my segment criteria as well as my range. Then I want to emphasize on this particular greater than zero. So which means that the profit only count the profit that are profitable, in this sense greater than zero. So all right. So we're already getting insights. Then I'm going to sum the total sales made on each product category like this. So to do that, um, so you have three categories. And before you even go to that, uh, I'm going to create a new column. I'm going to name it segment analysis, right? Then I'm going to put all this into a table. The number of customers, the number of customers, the number of each segment customers, and their total. So I'm going to name it. This is consumers, right? I'm going to select my screen as well. This is corporate, and this is home appliances. Right, and then we might want to put them in the new sheet. Okay, better still, we can even make it not this. So you can make it like this. Segments, right? Frequency, right? Appliances, that is consumer, right? Corporate, then appliances, then we have the frequency. Uh, so home appliances, home office segments, sorry, not home appliances, home office, right? And so consumers are the highest with 5,191, right? Then followed by others, which is 1,783, then followed by corporate segment 3,020, then our total, which is 9,994. Do you understand everything I've done so far, or do I need to go back to explain? All right.
I think I gotta just look at it again, but I'm following you. I'm following you. I think I just have to look at it again though. But I'm able to follow what you're doing.